and welcome to the racing portion of our Grand Championships broadcast, coming at you from Las Vegas, Nevada in Sam Boyd Stadium. 24 trucks going to battle it out in this unique race course for the Racing Championship of the North American Monster Truck Series. We're taking a look at our field of trucks now. Starting it out, Chris Hamilton bringing over rev to the course. Marcus Santana will be an introvert. Chadwick Deerfoot brings out Mr. Beardman. Keaton Barney will be driving Sugar Rush. Julio Vellon Jr. will be in Empire tonight. Jack Merkel brings Anarchy to the floor. Blaze Antique in Copycat. Devin Doss in Deja Vu. Chris Bialek in Showtime. Josh Gajewski is in Control Freak. Mark Culinary brings Kingpin to the floor. Seth Holloway will be in Robo Dragon. Aaron Lurie in Monster Energy Pro 4. Brandon Scalf in the red. And the number 10 qualifier Kyle Wilson in Aces Wild. Number 9 qualifier Blake Thompson in USA Firestarter. Number 8 Damian Bowers in Untapped Rage. Julian Bauman brings Colin McRae Vision in the number 7 spot. Zach Steele, number 6 in First Response. Matt Tyrrell in Fuel Injection, your number 5 qualifier. Number 4, Will Meyer, Hotline Miami. Number 3, Fernando Martinez in Show Loco. Number 2 in qualifying, Andrew Sheets in Dragon. And your number 1 qualifier, John Zimmer in Terminal Velocity. We're going to look at some qualifying highlights now. Take a look at Aaron Lurie, the Monster Energy Pro 4, riding a massive wheelie down the straightaway. Not going to help the time, but it looks cool. Josh Gajewski clips the turning pole, and he flips it over. Like Thompson, as you see here, smooth pass, just clips the car and flips it over. Chris Bialek zooming down Thunder Alley. A nice long jump into the straightaway. Chadwick Deerfoot getting a little swirly out of the jump, landing on the stands and flipping it over in a violent rollover. John Zimmer was your fastest qualifier. And he shows you right there, beautiful pass, putting him in the number 1 spot into tonight's event. Let's take a look at our brackets. As you see, some drivers moved on to round 2 already, but we're starting out with round 1, starting out with Showtime versus Deja Vu. The top 8 qualifying made it to round 2, as you see here on the second half. Andrew Sheets in Dragon moving on to round 2, along with Julian Baum and Cho Loco and First Response. Starting out in round 1 in the second half, though, Josh Gajewski taking on Blaze, Control Freak versus Copycat. And let's get right into the action. Our first race of round 1, Chris Bialek Showtime taking on Devin Doss in Deja Vu. Chris more known for his freestyles this season, and Devin having some trouble making into events, so it should be an interesting race. Pretty even. I think that Chris may have hit the jump first. Both a little swirly out of the straightaway, but into the turn it looks very even. But Chris just has more speed coming out of the turn, and it's going to be him over Devin Doss. An 18.376 for Chris Bialek, and a nice stop there to finish the run. Next race, Blake Thompson in USA Firestarter taking on Chris Hamilton in Overrev. Chris known more as a racer in the past. Blake Thompson struggled a little bit early in the season, but he's also been very solid at racing. Blake Thompson with a small lead. Chris bobbles a little bit out of the turn. That's going to give it to him. Blake Thompson takes the win. 17.667 as Chris goes tumbling after the race. X out. Seth Holloway and Robo Dragon taking on Julio Avalon Jr. and Empire. Two special paint schemes for tonight's event. They both look great. Seth Holloway hit the jump a little sooner than Julio, so it seems like he has about a 2-truck length lead going into the turn. And that's going to carry on to the final jump too. Seth Holloway taking the win by a couple truck lengths over Julio. In a 17.955. Next race. Aaron Larry, Monster Ranger Pro 4 taking on Keaton Barney in Sugar Rush. Keaton didn't make it into too many events this season, although he did impress the events he made it into. Aaron, on the other hand, making it into some events, not many results in racing. Keaton's all out of shape in the straightaway, and he flips it over next to the bus tag. That's going to give the win to Aaron Lurie. Over the jump, nice and smooth. It's going to be an 18.074. And that brings us into the second half of round one as we see our first half here. Showtime moving on, USA Fire Starter moving on, Robo Dragon and Monster Energy Pro 4 moving on to the preceded round two brackets. And then we're going to start off in the second half of round one with Control Free Copycat, and then Aces Wild Introvert, Kingpin, Anarchy, The Red, and Mr. Beardman. Let's get straight into the second half of round one. Starting out, Kyle Wilson and Aces Wild taking on Marcus Santana and Introvert. Kyle Wilson more known for his freestyles this season. Marcus Santana often made it pretty far in the racing bracket. Pretty even around the turn. It's going to be Marcus Santana about a truck. Our closest race of the night so far. 17.869. A great time for Marcus Santana. On our next race of round one, Jack Merkel, Anarchy taking on Mark Culinary and Kingpin. Two drivers who weren't in that many events this season, but they've made their way into the championships. And we see them right here on the track. Mark Culinary, definitely no more as a racer in this bracket, but Jack can pull the upset here. Although Jack pulls a little bit of a wheelie out of that, that's going to put it behind. Mark keeps it tight, Jack's on two wheels, and he flips it over, and Mark's going to take the win over Jack Merkel. It's going to be a 17.970 for Kingpin. And the next race, Brandon Scalf in the red taking on Chadwick Deerfoot in Mr. Beardman. We've seen Chadwick very often in the season, almost every event I believe. Brandon, however, we didn't see much of him, but he's here in the field tonight and is looking to make a name for himself. Chadwick out of shape though, getting on two wheels in the straightaway, that's going to give a little bit of a lead to Brandon. Clipping the car again, Brandon's going to take that over Chadwick by about a truck. It's going to be an 18.304 for the red. Not the fastest time, but he moves on to round two. Speaking of round two, we're going to get that started right now with Terminal Velocity and Showtime, Untapped Rage, USA Firestarter, Hotline Miami, Robo Dragon, and then Fuel Injection and Monster Energy Pro 4 finishing out the first half of round two. Second half, Dragon, Aces Wild, which is your fast loser due to a DQ for both races in round one. Colin McRae Vision, Introvert, Choloco, Kingpin, and First Response in the red, finishing out round two. Starting out round two, Chris Bialek, Showtime taking on John Zimmer, your fastest qualifier in Terminal Velocity. Chris has quite the task trying to take out John Zimmer right now. Although very even going into the bank turn. But John just pulls ahead off the turn, and it's going to be terminal velocity of about a truck and a half. A 17.204, a fantastic time for John Zimmer. Our next race of round two, Damian Bowers, Untapped Rage, Blake Thompson, USA Firestarter. I must say in this matchup, Blake Thompson definitely more known as a racer. Damian known for his wild freestyles, but he can definitely pull the upset here over Blake Thompson. Trouble for Damien in the turn. Blake's going to pull ahead of that and take the easy win over Damien. So 17.598 for USA Firestarter. Solid time for Blake Thompson. Our next race, Will Meyer, Hotline Miami, Seth Holloway, and Robo Dragon. This should be a good race. Both of these drivers made it to the semifinals of almost every event. Very close right now. Dead even going into the turn. Dead even coming out of the turn. Very close at the finish. And it looks like Will Meyer is just going to edge out Seth Holloway there, 17.643. That was the closest race of the night. A fantastic race for both drivers. Next race, Matt Tyrrell and Fuel Injection taking on Aaron Lurie, Monster Energy Pro 4. In this matchup, Matt definitely the favorite. Even over the jump, Aaron takes a slower approach to it and slows down over the jump, but Matt's taking the lead significantly after that move. And it's going to be multiple truck length victory for Matt as Aaron goes flipping after the line. And that's the first half of round 2. Our second half of round 2 will start soon, as we saw. Terminal Velocity moved on. USA Firestarter, Hotline Miami, and Fuel Injection all moving on to round 3. Second half, we are starting it out with Dragon and Aces Wild, as I said before. Control Freak Hobby had a double DQ in that race. Aces Wild comes back as your fast loser, and he'll start out the first half of round 2. Second half of round 2. Andrew Sheets Dragon taking on Kyle Wilson and Aces Wild. Kyle Wilson's getting a great break in this round 2 matchup. Lost round 1, but he's coming back, but he's got to prove it against Andrew Sheets. That's going to be a tough one. Andrew with that beautiful championship truck. And Andrew's already pulling ahead by about a truck going into the bank turn. Keeps it way tighter than Kyle, and it's an easy win by about 2 truck lengths for Andrew Sheets. 17.326, a great time. Next race, Julian Bauman, Colin McRae Vision taking on Marcus Santana and Introvert. This should be an interesting race too, as Julian, not too known for racing in North American Monster Truck Series, didn't get too many cases of him making it very far in the racing bracket, but he can definitely prove it here against Marcus. Very even race so far. Both drivers keeping it very tight, but Marcus is going to pull ahead a little bit at the finish line. And it's going to be Marcus Santana, 17.540, Introvert taking the win. Next race, Fernando Martinez, Cho Loco, and Marcanari Kingpin. Fernando's got that beautiful World Finals scheme going with that new body. Looks like Mark had the slight lead going over the jump, but it's evened out now. Fernando may have a slight lead going into the turn. Out of the turn, it looks like it's Fernando, and he's going to take it by about a truck over Mark Collinari. A 17.411 for Cho Loco. Next race of round 2. Brandon Scout from the red take on Zach Steele in First Response. Both drivers looking for a berth in the round 3. It would mean big points for the season overall points, so. But Brandon's all out of shape. Gets a bad bounce, gets on 2 wheels, but brings it back down. Unfortunately, it's just too late. Zach Steele's going to run away with that. And another bad hit, and he flips it over directly onto the roof. Terrible crash, but it's 17.507 for Zach Steele as he moves on to round 3. And that's going to conclude round 2 as you see our round 3 matchups. Terminal Velocity, USA Firestarter, Hotline Miami, Fuel Injection in the first half. And then second half, Dragon, Introvert, Cho Loco, and First Response. It's really a stacked third round we have here. Starting out round 3, Blake Thompson, USA Firestar, taking on John Zimmer in Terminal Velocity. Blake Thompson looking to take out the #1 qualifier. Very even so far. Looks like Blake got a better turn there, but John Zimmer just pulls ahead. About a half-truck win for John Zimmer of 17.339. As Blake Thompson tumbles it after the finish. Next race, Matt Tyrrell Fuel Injection taking on Will Meyer Hotline Miami. Will Meyer going for the Racing Points Championship. And this win means a lot for that championship. Very even so far, both drivers landing at the same time off the jump. Matt slings into the turn and it bites him, flips it over. And Will Meyer's going to take that one. A 17.212, an excellent time for Will Meyer. Next race, Andrew Sheets and Dragon taking on Marcus Santana and Fuel in Introvert. Great start for both drivers, even over the jump. Going into the turn, looks like Andrew's pulling ahead slightly. But Marcus clips the car and he flips it over. Andrew's going to take that one over Marcus Santana. It's going to be a 17.408, a great time again. Not as fast as Will Meyer, but he's keeping up with him. Next race, Fernando Martinez Choloco taking on Zach Steele in First Response. Zach Steele did not leave the line. Fernando Martinez is running away with this race as Zach Steele has not left the line. I don't know what happened to the First Response truck, but tough break for Zach Steele. Is Fernando just going to take the easy victory? It's going to be a 17.815 for Fernando Martinez as Zach Steele's trying to finish the race here. It won't matter. Fernando takes the win. And that sets up our semi-final brackets. Terminal Velocity taking on Hotline Miami, the Dragon taking on Choloco. Definitely a great group of racers in the semifinals. Fernando Martinez making a surprise entrance in the semifinals, and he's starting out right here. Will Meyer, Hotline Miami taking on John Zimmer, Terminal Velocity, your #1 qualifier. This win means a lot for Will Meyer to take the Racing Points Championship. He can take out the #1 qualifier. Will Meyer actually pulling ahead a little bit, slightly ahead in the turn. Very close, too close to call. It's going to be Will Meyer, 17.257. The closest race of the night, and it's in the semifinals against two of the best racers in the field. Second semifinal race, Andrew Sheets Dragon taking on Fernando Martinez and Choloco. Two great looking trucks for the championship. We'll see who gets it in the final race. Even off the jump. Looks like Fernando kept it lower to the ground. Slight advantage in the final turn. Still even off the jump. It's very close. Andrew Sheets going to narrowly take that one. 17.149. An extremely fast time, bringing him into the final race. As we see here, Hotline Miami Dragon into the championship of North American Monster Truck Series for racing. This should be a great race. Two of the fastest racers in this entire league. And it starts out right here, the beautiful looking Dragon truck for the championship and the beautiful looking Hotline Miami truck. Two great looking trucks, great racers in the finals. It's anyone's race. Very close so far. Will Meyer slightly ahead. And Will Meyer, Hotline Miami is going to take the racing championship with a 17.107, the fastest time of the night. An incredible race for our championship race. Very close, very fast. And and Will Meyer is going to celebrate his victory. As we see our completed brackets, terminal velocity making it to round 3 after an automatic berth in the second round. Blake Thompson making it to round 3, Highland Miami and field injection all making it to round 3. And we see Direct and Introvert, Troloco and First Response also made it to round 3. But what really matters is the semifinals and the finals. Terminal Velocity and Highland Miami. Maybe one of the closest races of the night, and the Dragon Show Loco entry sheet's taking that one. Bringing us to Highland Miami and Dragon, Highland Miami and Will Meyer taking the racing championship here tonight in Las Vegas. And that's going to conclude the racing portion of the Grand Championships. We'll see you next week for Freestyle Part 1.